Hey, welcome back to BBM Production. It's Brian, Bill, and Mike, and today we are talking about Scrabble versus Donkey Dick. I'm sorry, I mean Yahtzee versus Video Game Donkey in a little YouTube versus. If you guys like these, then maybe we'll put some other YouTubers up against each other. So, yeah, I'm a big Video Game Donkey fan. I know Brian is a big Yahtzee fan.
Yahtzee.
Bill, kind of lukewarm on both. But yeah, today we will decide which is better. And go!
Okay, Yahtzee, Yahtzee, Yahtzee. Make a case for Yahtzee, not too hard. Fast talking Aussie who is interchangeable with the British accent, so to speak. You can listen to him, you can watch his video. The production value has memeable appeal to it. He is the one who was credited, at least on Wikipedia, for coming up with the glorious master PC race. So that's
Really?
thing. Yep. Check Wikipedia.
Wow.
The concept
He's
or
credited
just the
for
meme?
that meme.
Oh, okay. So not the concept of PC
No,
Master
of course
Race.
not.
Okay.
But Wikipedia credits him. But who knows what's with Wikipedia and all that fun stuff.
So, I mean, I've watched a couple of Yahtzee's videos, and they're entertaining. I'm not saying they're not entertaining, but there are a lot of these same kind of essay style, heavily produced videos out there. Oh yeah, I mean, I think about all the time it took to build out a lot of these animations and whatnot. That's a lot of production.
Okay.
And
gameplay is not sort of cheating in some way. You're saying Yahtzee is worse off because he puts more production value into his videos instead of just pacing gameplay like Video Game Donkey does. I don't.
No, I'm saying it's
negative detraction.
I mean, I could go watch Ozyman reviews if I wanted to listen to a fast talking foreigner. Try to be hilarious. I could go.
Hey! No, let's not disparage Ozzy, man. He's a fucking treasure.
He is a treasure. I'm not saying he's
All
not
right.
good. I'm just saying he's. There are a lot of these kinds of creators out there. I feel like there's only one Video Game Donkey. Sure, to Brian's point, some of it is.
Yeah, because you never go full retard, and I think Video Game Donkey gets very close to that line. That's all I'm saying.
With hilarious consequences. I mean, and also, you get some more thoughtful stuff out of Donkey. I mean, I think about his review of The Shining. A lot of his dunk reviews. He's done videos about difficulty in video games and video games journalism, and what it takes to be a good reviewer. And he also has like the kind of cracked out videos a la Slam Donkey from his early, League of Legends days. I don't know. He's just hilarious, and I don't think there's anyone like him on YouTube to be honest, because of his range.
There's always going to be clones. I'm sure you can find a lot of.
Yeah, he has a
successful clones. He might have a niche that is very hard to fill. That is very hard to pull off. But
I guess that's true. There's a whole video about the Donkey clones that are out there.
Yep. Almost anyone successful will have clones and parodies. Even some less successful people will get those types. And I must admit, the fast-talking Aussie/British, accent guy. There's even some Americans with our American accent that does the fast-talking videos. But you really can't knock on Yahtzee. His story is rather epic, and he's way more than just a video game reviewer. Okay? He's touched on controversies. I think because of his publisher, there's some things he can't touch. I brought up early before the podcast, Jim Sterling used to be at The Escapist, but evidently there's certain rules and restrictions that publishers have to go by. And I think Yahtzee skirts that rather well. And I must admit, he's got quite a cynical ass character that he plays almost all around. But he does streams and other things. Yeah, I guess he doesn't get sentimental, but you can see some sentimentality. That's not a real word, by the way. under the
Really?
cracks
You sure?
of his veneer.
Yeah, I mean, again, I don't mind Yahtzee. Some of the stuff I've seen was good. But I mean, I get excited when and again, not every video that Dunkey puts out is a good one. Some of them are kind of bad, and he definitely did lose some of his energy in the last like 4 or 5 years, and I think that takes away from the quality of the videos quite a bit. But I don't know, like the whole Knack 2 thing, Knack 2 baby, that was like a meme for a while all over the internet. There was actually an article, I guess people in Splatoon, you can write a little description in your sound bubble or whatever. So like when you're in the lobby, people can walk up to you and they'll see a little sound bubble that pops up. And a lot of people were putting like Knack 2 baby, Knack's back in their little sound bubble as a homage to Dunkey. And like there was some games journalism website that was talking about how they didn't get the joke. And they're like, oh man, there's a big market out there for Knack 2 because it's all over the internet right now. Everyone's talking about Knack 2. And I don't know. It was
because you had to be there.
And I guess you.
Yeah. Yeah, Yahtzee videos aren't contingent on the video. The production value you were talking about, you don't need that. You can listen just to the audio straight without the video. That's another thing I like about Yahtzee. You can just be doing something else, put on the audio, and enjoy his barrage of colorful metaphor and simile. I think he's also rather meta in some ways. I can't guarantee the analysis, but between him being a game designer, an author, and several other things, he has several books out there. He's actually thank you, Bob. Yeah. He's designed games that are primitive. He even went through 12 months and did 12 games. But we're talking about as video game reviewers.
Overachiever.
Bill, you gave us your thoughts outside of stream. Give us them again for each one.
Well, you know what?
Give it to me, Daddy.
I get nostalgic for the time that I lost watching both of them. Gun to my head, if I had to choose between the two, I'd probably choose the fast-talking board game. But I don't know. Just yeah. So okay, I find myself agreeing more with Donkey Dude, but just his delivery is fucking terrible. He tries to force jokes too much. Feels like he's trying to be funny with like the zany shit he's saying, and just man, his fucking voice, like that weird, like you could tell he's painfully white, trying to speak with like a thuggish ghetto, accent. I don't know. And then there's like some sort of weird like upstate New York accent that comes and goes, and you're just like, what are you doing? Is that something like you're forcing for the
Never
video?
Go full retard, right?
I don't get. It's really cringy. Like I don't know. He just comes off like super cringy to me. So even though like I'm listening and I'm like, oh yeah, he's got some good points and maybe there's even some funny jokes. Fucking 30 seconds in and I'm trying to fucking close the window, And we were talking about that earlier and I'm like, oh Jesus Christ, trying to close this goddamn video, and then it just minimizes it to a small window and keeps playing on your fucking phone. You're like, fuck, what is this update? How do I get rid of this goddamn video? So I'm just swiping all over the place and thinking about just smashing my phone, so I shut his fucking voice up, but But yeah, the other guy, the fucking fast talking thing, it's funny for a bit, but if you watch more than like one video, you can't take it. It just gets old really fast.
Old cranky man. That's probably why.
No, it's not even the cynical shit. I'm just talking about the fucking weird, never-ending rant crap. It just kind of becomes a salt on the ears after one video. Yeah,
it's almost cynicism for the sake of cynicism.
And that's the other thing. Is like you watch a lot of his reviews and shit, and he makes some valid points. Like even stuff like Fallout and shit that we love. Like, he makes some valid points about some of the fucking irritating shit that's in them. Mm-hmm. But he seems to really hyper focus on everything negative for the like jokes' sake. But it comes off weird.
And he has some weird references that probably are more regional, like Michael Bean. He keeps bringing him up.
I mean, that's to be expected, I guess. You know, you can't expect people that live in other countries to have the same cultural references across the board. But so that part doesn't really bother me. But I don't know. You're just like, are you just going for like the shock value, just being an ass about everything, or just kind of, here's some things that people love, let me fucking shit on them to see if I can get more views? Like, that's how it kind of starts to feel after a while.
No, he has genuine hates, and he gets annoyed at fans, like Nintendo fanboys. He tends to rail against. He's like, okay, fuck it, I'll do Smash. I'll do the story mode for Smash. Nintendo fanboys, you're really missing the point. Well, fuck you, I did the review, goodbye. That sort of thing.
I mean, like, I don't know, because I haven't seen any of his videos out of, I don't know, like the dozen. Because I've seen him before, actually, before you mentioned, for me to watch it just in passing.
And for Yahtzee.
That pops up on Facebook or some shit. But out of the dozen or so videos of his I've watched, I don't think I've ever really heard him say anything positive. It's like 95% just negative and crapping on stuff,
Well, Dark Souls, he's like, even shit on that for a bit. But he's like, it's like hitting your head against a brick wall. And I think I've developed a taste for hitting my head against a brick wall. He has compliment sandwiches. Like insult, whenever he has a compliment, he goes with it.
But in reverse. Yeah.
Yeah, in reverse. A reverse compliment.
Got one piece of bread and two pieces of bologna on that compliment sandwich. Yeah.
And I respect a man who's willing to do a reverse compliment sandwich. Takes balls.
So obviously, any successful YouTuber is going to have their shtick, right?
Yeah.
Really, any successful entertainer is going to have their shtick. It's like brand awareness. You know what you're getting when you go to McDonald's and get a burger or whatever. So I get that you're going to have, eventually every video is going to be similar to the last. What I like about Dunkey is you get, again, a wide range of honest videos where he's giving his honest opinion about things.
Honest.
And then
Sorry, I can't believe him sometimes. I haven't watched as much as you, so maybe you need to watch more. Just like how Bill can't tell between the cynical cracks, Yahtzee has some really strong opinions. I don't watch enough Donkey to see the honesty in his videos. I probably watched more of the Donkey video because, it's sort of ear cancer, but I can take it. Most part is the cringy parts that I can't deal with. I skip through them sometimes. But continue, Mike.
Well, yeah, like again, I point to the video I shared for this was the Ocarina of Time dunk view that he did, and I thought that was really well put together. There was a really good review he did of The Shining, and I thought his review of Death Stranding was illuminating because, again, he's a Hideo Kojima fanboy. He's a big Metal Gear guy. Metal Gear Solid 5 was like one of his favorite games of all time. But he didn't pull any punches when he reviewed that game and how little interest he had in playing it, and even, fired back to Hideo Kojima when, he came out with that whole, Americans, they only like their first-person shooters bit or whatever, So I like that kind of stuff. He's not just sucking the dick of whatever, creator he particularly likes. He's candid about a lot of his thoughts. But then again, on the other side of the coin, so he has his more, I don't want to say poignant, but more like thoughtful stuff. And then on the other side of that, he has his, I think he did a 5-minute video where it was literally just like stock footage of trains. And I don't know. It was just funny.
This video, it didn't interest me. Maybe I'll watch it later, but something about...
Oh, the box art one?
Yeah. What was that about? I mean, the titles also... I'm like, okay, do I want to even attempt to watch this? Is he just going to be talking some nonsense and throwing in weird gameplay?
I mean, again, ultimately to each their own. You can like whatever you like. And, Donkey does get a little sophomoric, but in a pseudo-adult way. He also has, Escapist, for what it's worth, Escapist, 1.19 million subscribers. VideoGameDunkey, 6.37. That's insane. I mean,
Yeah, it just shows people on YouTube tend to stray towards the juvenile aspects of things. Plus, the Escapist has a lot of
Yeah, it is very juvenile.
creators that could probably, like Movie Bob, probably is a stream hit on the Escapist magazine. He's a very contentious character, so it's hard to ascribe them based on subscriber counts. I think that's a false equivalency.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I just tend to lean towards the more juvenile. But then again, he does have some more grown up content in there with the. I'm scrolling through his videos right now. You know, video game structure evolution is right next to Mom Hid My Game. What's another one? The design for Kanye West's merch. That was a great video. Anyway.
Also, Video Game Donkey's probably
just more original.
Us. Yahtzee is. Well, you can't say Yahtzee isn't original. He's been doing his shtick for a while. I mean, he's definitely more stuck in it. His little bubble. He goes outside of it. He has a little trouble. He has other outlets for his creativity. I don't know about Donkey. As I said, Yahtzee's book. I did a review one time a while ago that people hate it because I made fun of Yahtzee in the video. How could I not do a review of Yahtzee and not make fun of him? That would not be in the spirit of Yahtzee.
Yeah.
For a minute, I'm like, did Bill freeze? Wait, there's a
no.
There's a blink.
Man, I don't know. Just Donkey Kong's like super cringy voice that I just can't get past it. While watching the videos, man, I just
Is there a third option you want to throw out there for fans?
Plus, it's even worse when you look him up because it's like confirmed that he's nerdy white dude and just man, I don't know that just horrible put on voice.
That could be
so
just
cringy.
How he speaks. Just because he's a nerdy white dude. Weird Al Yankovic had white and nerdy.
I mean, I guess, you know, but that it just, I've known a few people in my personal life that speak like that, and it's just such a put on. So I guess maybe for me that it just feels cringy when they're trying to sound, trying to sound cool or trying to sound like another race or something. I don't know, because it just comes off super cringy and I don't know.
Okay. Do you have a third?
Surprised they haven't come after him for like some sort of weird cultural appropriation or something. Cancel culture.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to trademark or say a voice goes to a certain race. That's almost racist in its own way.
Well, that's the thing is I don't even know what he's trying to do. Like,
with his voice? Could be his natural voice.
Is that the weird?
Someone could have just punched him in the throat when he was a kid, and he has that voice.
It's like to him, is that like the weird cartoon version of what a black person sounds like in your head? Because it's messed up. Like the people who do that. That's why I feel like it comes off so cringy because it's not even like using certain vernacular or certain speech pattern. It just comes off as this weird, forced, cringy thing.
That's why I really don't think it's a put on. I think that is like in his early videos, a lot of people. I thought he was black when I first started listening to some of his stuff, and he is half Puerto Rican for what it's worth.
Okay,
he's from Wisconsin.
Oh, that's where the weird, like I said, upstate New York accent comes and goes. He's from Wisconsin. Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I mean, ultimately, whatever. I could see how his voice would be a little off-putting.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm a fan.
Yeah.
I guess in determining who the winner is, I suppose it is Yahtzee in this case because I could tolerate. Bingo, right. The game of life wins because we could all, at the very least, tolerate his videos. And
maybe it's just the videos I saw of whatever.
Whatever.
Whatever his name is. Yeah.
Yeah. If you're so inclined, I do recommend scrolling through some of his. Again, I liked a lot of his League videos, even though I am definitely not a League of Legends guy.
Like some of the ones that you called like the zanier ones, like they had some funny moments, but after a while, it's just becomes annoying because he's just like a 13-year-old kid yelling loudly into a microphone about playing a video game. So it's just kind of odd.
And the pacing it gets rather erratic. I mean, you
Yeah,
the
I like
fast
that.
talking Yahtzee, it's just a steady stream, but at least the pacing's generally consistent. Video Game Donkey, I mean, yeah, I can see that as a plus, but pacing is important in creating content, in my opinion. The erratic pacing, great for the ADH generation, I guess.
I did like how on the Legend of Zelda one that you sent to the group chat, that one where he at least seemed to tell a more honest and rounded story of his time with the game,
Sure.
albeit in a terrible, cringy voice, but yeah, and and vocabulary. But at least you get a sense of, but you get a sense of like how his experience with the game was. Whereas I don't think you'll ever get that with Scrabble or whatever. Sorry, whatever his name is, Monopoly. you know.
Well, I generally, my perception is that him trying to convey his emotion seems somewhat fake, in my opinion. No,
maybe it is. I don't know.
It just comes off as fake to me. I mean, I could be completely wrong. It's just my impression of that heartful. He has that turn, then. But it was the greatest game ever, and it was so moving. Comes off a little fake to me, but that's just me.
Yeah, the only reason I don't think it is fake is because those are not his more successful videos. His more successful videos are the more
just walking around shooting crap, making a bunch of like noises.
Yeah, those are. He used to freestyle a lot in his earlier ones. So those are like his bread and butter. So if he, the only reason that you would be fake with something like that is to get more views, I would assume, right? Get more cash. And they are not. I mean, they still do well, those other videos, but they're not what he's known for, and they don't do as well. Which leads me to believe that they are legit. That's all. But again, at the end of the day, it's all a matter of personal preference.
He does have, and again, it's probably for me, the voice, and his vocabulary, but he does have what I would consider to be a fake quality about him. Like if you didn't say anything and just showed me a video, I'd be like, yeah, this dude feels very fake.
Sure.
So I don't know. I could be wrong though. I don't know. Maybe he was 4 years old talking like that. Say, hey, Ma, I want a juice box, and like I mean, I don't know, but
I mean, at the end of the day, that's regardless of anything else, that's how he comes off to you, and that's
yeah, I don't know,
of course. And he's 29. Again, I had to look that up.
It may be also the fact that I've known a couple of people who I have in my personal life who have talked like that to, I don't know, try to gain some sort of social points with a certain group or something. Sure. But then you hear them 5 minutes later and they don't speak like that at all.
Oh God, it's
like oh God.
I've seen those videos of like Quentin Tarantino getting interviewed on BET. It's the cringiest goddamn thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Because and I've known people like that too, where he's putting on how he thinks he should talk or communicate with black people. But then
which is the fucking worst, man.
It is the worst. And I think early on in my life, I almost fell into that trap as well, just having a lot of black friends. But it's once you hear it outside of yourself, you're like, holy shit, that's how it sounds. That's insane and dishonest and pandering. So yeah, I would be very bummed if I found out that were the case, that he was putting on some voice because he thought it would solidify the crowd. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like in certain situations, like I don't know, growing up in like PG County, I've had people tell me that I, believe it or not, especially out here, that I sound too black. Like actually a lot.
Really?
To the point where I'm like fucking discriminatory out here, but yeah.
Well, we're in a very diverse area.
Well, I do that like just in general as my everyday, but the weird, it's different with the weird like put on voice that people do. It's really fucking weird as shit, you know?
Yeah. Well, I think that pretty much does it for this, eh?
Yeah. Did you want to rate any of your reviewers before we leave, Bill? Video game.
Oh, I don't.
You think
I don't tend to watch a lot of that kind of crap. Way back in the day, I used to watch the angry Nintendo nerd guy, but
that's ancient stuff.
Yeah, I don't really watch a whole lot of reviewers anymore.
Well, this has been the BBM Productions YouTube Versus Series, Part 1. Video Game Dunkey versus Yahtzee. Yahtzee decidedly the winner here. I'm sorry.
Scrabble.
Battleship. Yeah,
okay.
Battleship decidedly the winner versus Dunkirk. And, you know, don't forget to put in your comments where your allegiance lies between these two. And if we can think of a couple others, maybe we'll do some more of these. Don't forget to like, subscribe, or whatever. And we'll see you next time. Bye.